Hi there, it's Mike Austin from Method 180. I enjoy reading inspirational and thought-provoking quotes every now and again. I found one recently that was from John F. Kennedy about negotiating that I like. And since JFK was a president, he found himself in all kinds of tough negotiation spots, and he provided this little bit of wisdom. Anyway, the quote goes like this: "Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate." Well, here's one of those laws about software audits and SAM engagements. An audit is a negotiation. Understanding your deployment position is a negotiation, period. Let me explain. Right now, software vendors like Microsoft are auditing or disguising audits as software asset management engagements, SAM for short, thousands of companies. It's a huge revenue generator for them. So many companies are falling into the trap that their vendor tells them that the SAM process is to help them understand their licensing and their deployments, but it really isn't. It's about generating revenue for the software company. And in this free short video, I'm going to show you how these vendors use these software audits to generate revenue and what you can do to ensure you only pay for what you are actually using. I'm not only going to show you how Method 180's SAM Compass process uses the same tools the auditors do, most of which are free by the way, but I will show you the tool we use to clear the noise out of your deployment data, structure that data, and how to apply licenses to get the optimal results for yourself. And guess what? You don't need to be a licensing PhD to figure these strategies out. You can save yourself thousands of dollars just by copying us, or of course you can just allow us to do it for you. And more important, I'm going to show you the one simple tool that empowers you to do this on your own. You don't need an army of IT folks, lawyers, and other resources to do this, and you definitely don't need $1 million budget to implement some fancy asset management tool. But let's back up a second. About 2 years ago, when Microsoft started auditing more people, our business began to grow. People were looking for help to defend themselves against what they felt were unjustified audit positions. And you know what? They were right. They were unjustified. And so we built a lot of manual processes to help organizations defend themselves in audits. Over the last 2 years, we've successfully defended almost 100 companies, from 250 users all the way up to the Fortune 50 companies that were getting audited or SAMmed by Microsoft, and we've shown them how to save millions of dollars in incorrect audit findings. I'm talking real dollars saved, not just from audit findings, but we were also able to take their actual deployment data and the licenses that they owned and create licensing models that worked for them versus the typical enterprise agreements where they were being sold stuff just because Microsoft wanted them to buy it, saving them even more money. And the bottom line's this, that I kept coming back to: no matter how big or how small the company, organizing and understanding your deployment data was the key to saving money. At client after client, our manual tools that we developed did two things really well. They helped us organize the data so we could visualize it simply, removing all kinds of noise, and it helped us optimize license assignment, driving savings. I guess if I can only do two things well and it saves you money, these are two pretty good things. So let's start off by talking about organizing data, about how you need to be able to visualize your deployment information in a simple and easy to understand manner. First, let me ask you a question. You are trying to save your company money, right? You want to be able to optimize your Microsoft licensing, whether that's on-premise or whether it's cloud-based licensing like Office 365. And you've seen the big asset management tool companies promote how their tools give you the rigor and the processes to save you 20, 30, and even 40% on software license and audits. So, as someone that's responsible for software licensing, can you tell me how you can save money without being able to correctly visualize and analyze your deployment data? It's impossible, right? And there's a reason for that. Structuring your data works for a lot more than audits. But audits are definitely one great area to apply the concept. And what you really need to know is what the smartest people who defend software audits know, what those expensive SAM tool companies know. It's something you need to pay attention to: data visualization. And this is why we developed the SAM Compass process utilizing some tools. And I think one of the best things about this tool is you don't need to change your current process. It works with your existing tool, whether it's SCCM, BigFix, Altiris, Flexera, etc. You don't have an inventory tool or a network management tool, you say? Don't worry, there are some free tools like the Microsoft Map tool that will do this for you. Here are just a few examples of the big audits that I've worked up and close and personal on where we save millions of dollars for our clients. Obviously, their identities are masked to protect the innocent. The first was a large healthcare organization that was audited by Microsoft. The auditors had produced findings of about $10 million in non-compliance. For 6 months, this client argued with the auditor on their own about the findings, knowing that they weren't correct. They felt that the number was closer to $2 million. They engaged with Method 180. We utilized the processes that we've put into our SAM Compass tool, and we helped them settle for less than $1.2 million in 4 weeks. The second is a global transportation company that was facing a SAM engagement from Microsoft, where Microsoft asked them to come in and do an evaluation of their SQL servers. The IT organization ran Microsoft Map, provided the data to the account team, and the account team took that raw data and made a bunch of assumptions and came back and told the organization that they needed to buy $800,000 of SQL licenses to cover shortfalls. In came Method 180 and our SAM Compass process and tools, and what we did was we formatted the data and gave them a visualization of the data. We then reviewed all of that data with the client and figured out that there was no shortfall, that they were actually over licensed. And the best part, we did that in under 3 days. I know what you're saying. I'm not as big as these two examples. Don't worry. The bottom line, these two companies saved millions of dollars and countless hours of wasted time and aggravation trying to deal with incorrect audit findings. The best part is SAM Compass scales to the size of your organization. My friend, Method 180 SAM Compass and software deployment visualization process saves you money and unshackles you from your onerous software contracts. I know you know this, but for whatever reason, you only mess around with deployment data or you haven't done it at all. Maybe you think it's too complicated or it's too expensive or you're going to wait until you receive an audit notification. Or perhaps maybe you're already engaged in an audit or a SAM engagement. Guess what? It's never too late to implement SAM Compass. Let me save you the trouble. Let's look at someone who's already used SAM Compass and figured it out. I want to show you what one of our clients has done with the tool and how they used it to figure out exactly what they had deployed and where they had potential compliance gaps before they even became a problem. These guys had a good handle on their licensing, but they never had a way to visualize it. Like many of you out there, they were managing everything in many different spreadsheets. However, once we implemented Method 180 SAM Compass, they were able to see everything quickly and easily. Okay, so this is just a short demo of the product that we're talking about here. So I've logged into the SAM Compass dashboard, and what you'll see here is a few things. Right off the bat, we can see that this client has about 15,000 installs of Microsoft product. We can see other vendors that they have things on, Symantec, Intel, etc. I'm going to actually just go into the Microsoft auditable report because that's what we're actually looking at. And what happens here is this pulls up this tree of Microsoft. Now, we haven't assigned any licenses to this client yet. I'm going to show you how simple that is here in a second. But if we had, we'd actually see a license position very quickly that gives an estimation of the magnitude of any shortfalls that they have. But I'm just going to expand on this, and I just want to show you a couple real quick things in here. Now, this client ran that Microsoft Map tool. They put that data up, and about 5 minutes later, this is what we actually were able to see. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to take a look in here and show you a couple of things. First, you can see that products are organized by family. So here we have Exchange Family and Exchange servers underneath them. We have Office applications, which are your project, your Visio, Outlook. You would see Word and PowerPoint in here if you have individual installs. You have your Office suite of family, so your Office Pro, your Office Standard, SQL Server, etc. So I'm just going to click on Office for a quick second here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and look at the Office Pro. So when I click on that, you can see here that they have 1,574 installs of 2010, 2 of 2007, 225, so I can get a quick view of what they actually have installed. Now, I'm going to click on licenses, and you can see here that over here they have 1,805 installs, but only 1,800 that are licensable. Now, the reason for this is this tool actually normalizes the data, and what it's doing is it's going to get rid of duplicates where Office Pro was installed on the same PC. So I'm going to show you really quickly how that happens. So I've done a filter over here on VL non-candidate, and the reason for this is I'm going to show you. I'm going to just click on this PC, and you can see the power. I can actually go in and I can start to see exactly what's installed on this PC. But here I'm just going to look for Office Professional because that's what we're talking about, and you'll see that there's a 2003 and a 2010 installed here. I only have to license the one. Okay, so I'm going to go back and just show you how quickly I can assign licenses. Let's assume this customer has an enterprise agreement. They have 1,500 licenses of Office in there. I click update and we can very easily see that they still have a shortfall. So, it's really quick, really powerful. We're going to show you more in other videos, but I just wanted to kind of quickly come in and show you a little bit of what the power of our SAM Compass tool is. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That is tough to implement. How do I get the data? Let me put your mind at ease. The client I just showed you, they didn't have an inventory tool installed. All their license management was done in a spreadsheet. As someone requested something new, they just added it to a running total to figure out what their true up would be. That was until we ran them through the SAM Compass process and automated it for them. This client, and about a dozen others I've worked with in the last 90 days, ran Microsoft Map Toolkit. It's a free tool. It does the same thing as those fancy inventory tools that are out there. And the great thing is it works for someone who has 100 devices to someone who has 100,000 devices. Cost to use this tool, $0. Sorry, inventory tool vendors. The next thing people ask is they must have to have an army of people running this map thing. Not at all. One IT person with the right credentials, about 10 minutes to get it set up, and bam, results. We use the Asset Labs Echo tool to validate the data and ask them to make a few changes. So there's a little bit of troubleshooting back and forth there, but it was pretty quick, about an hour overall. What about having to run all kinds of reports out of the map toolkit to get the data? Nope. We don't like their reports anyways. Ask me someday why I think they're wrong. Anyway, with that Echo utility that I just mentioned from Asset Labs, free as part of the SAM Compass service, the data automatically gets extracted from Map. 5 minutes after that, you can be in the portal that I showed you and visualizing your own data. Before we built SAM Compass, this process took us days. We also know that so many of you stopped building SAM practices because it would have taken you just as long. When we used manual process, it was painful. I mean, it hurt to get data in a consistent format for visualizing, licensing, and optimization. The thing is, I'm an audit and licensing expert. I never wanted to be a data analyst. I want to help clients save time, I want to help you save money, and I want to help you save aggravation. So now I use SAM Compass because it's more effective than anything I've ever done. Now I just don't have to manipulate standard reports and stitch data together for hours and hours on end. So what does this mean to you? It means you don't need a multi-million-dollar budget to get started in SAM. Just sign up for SAM Compass. If you don't have an inventory tool, just install Microsoft Map. You don't need an expensive inventory tool. I will make a bet if I showed you the results from someone who had a multi-million-dollar implementation of a fancy SAM tool and the same results with SAM Compass, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Well, that's not exactly true. SAM Compass will give you better, more actionable results and data you can easily visualize. I'm not so sure about that SAM tool. So now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Why don't you know exactly what your license position is at any given time? Are you able to easily defend yourself if you were to be audited? Do you have access to all your deployment data? Is it easy to visualize and understand? Is your enterprise agreement optimized based on actual licensing usage? You know what? Don't answer those questions because I don't want to incriminate you. So now that you're all excited and interested in SAM Compass, and if you'd like a little bit more information, don't wait. Send an email to info@method180.com and ask for us to schedule a demo of the tool, or let's discuss how we can help you save time, money, and aggravation too. Thank you.